Derry City are the only Northern Irish team in FC24. And in this alternate reality, they have made a big decision for the future of both Irish and English football, as Derry City are leaving the Irish League and have formally submitted an application to join the English footballing pyramid. But they're gonna have to start from the bottom, climb their way up from League 2 if they ever want to become Premier League champions. And today, we're gonna be captaining the ship. I'm taking over as Derry City manager, and I'm gonna make Northern Ireland's only team in this game the best team in the Premier League. We have got one hell of a challenge ahead of us, lads. This is the default team we start off with at Derry City. Too many 50 and 40 rated players for my liking. But we have to do everything we can to climb out of League 2. Let the rise up the footballing pyramid begin. And we have a very famous last name joining us for our first signing as Derry City manager, Jake Rooney. Not the son of Wayne Rooney. Believe it or not, he's 19 years old, but him and Wayne Rooney are cousins. But I'm hoping Jake Rooney can be a defender of the future for us here at Derry City. We have got a lot of older players to get rid of in this squad. First man gone is the attacking midfielder, Patrick McElhaney, who is heading to Racing de Ferrell. We're also going to be saying goodbye to another McElhaney here. I wonder if they're related. Shane McElhaney off to Gillingham. There are some super low rated players in the squad though that I want to loan out. Sean Patton fits into this mold. I think he's like 52 rated. He's off loan to Drogheda United. And Callum McKay's in the 40s. We're sending him on loan. One of Northern Ireland football's best young prospects is coming home. Omari Kellerman is coming here to Derry City. He heard that we were making the move into the English footballing pyramid, and he wanted to lead us to Premier League glory whilst harnessing his career. 17 years of age, 60 overall. Omari Kellerman signing from Aston Villa for 520,000. Speaking of 520,000, we're about 10,000 subscribers away from hitting that. So if you enjoy the content, subscribe down below. God, that's an easy plug. I'm not done selling players though. Mark Connolly heading to Rosenborg. We get rid of a centre back, we bring in another centre back. This one though is not a starting 11 player. In fact, this might be the lowest rated player I have ever signed, but we're gonna sign 52 rated Northern Irish defender Tom Atchinson. He's 16 years of age. We're picking him up from Blackburn for £185,000. And immediately I'm throwing him up on the loan list. Another man gone though, Cameron Dummigan, off to the Romanian league. And I'm actually surprised we got a loan move for Atchinson so quickly. He's the second player we've loaned out to Drogheda United. 2 years for the Northern Irish centre back. Heading into the first season though, this is what the starting 11 is looking like for the first half of it, but I am definitely open to making some changes dependent on where we're sitting. We're gonna have to rely so heavily on Duffy though. Well, I was not expecting this. We are in the hunt for automatic promotion and the playoffs. We sit 6th though, and one result could drop us down all the way to 9th. On the flip side, a win or two, we could be in the automatic spots. So I think we need to do everything we can to get promoted this year. And honestly, with Patrick Hoban decreasing rapidly, I think it's best for us to go in for a new striker. I don't know how I haven't clocked it until now. I'm gonna transfer list Danny Mullen. Danny Mullen, the YouTuber. I did not realize that we had a player on this team called Danny Mullen. That's actually hilarious. But selling Danny Mullen isn't only the business I want to do this year. I'm gonna send Jordan McAniff on a 2-year loan to the Seattle Sounders, which I am surprised they came in for him, but if it works, it works. Well, nobody was coming in for Danny Mullins, so I'm gonna instead sell another one of our former backup strikers. It's the young fella, only 59 rated, but we get £360,000 for Wheeler. Finally get our new striker though. On the final few days of the January window, Quinn Sullivan accepts our contract, the American striker joining us from the Philadelphia Union. 64 overall, 19 years of age. I'm excited to see what this kid could do. And it's paid off dividends, lads. I did not expect this. I thought we were going to be down the bottom of the table, but at the end of season 1, we have been automatically promoted with Derry City. Just 1 point off the league title, but I was watching the final day of the season. We were not in title contention, but we have been promoted. That is a massive win. What a way to start this. Bottom of the table, we're going to see Crew Alexandra going down. Man City beat Brentford to win the FA Cup. I mean, we went out in the second round. Liverpool win the Carabao. We went out in the first round there. Derby County win the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. Another time we went out in the second round. But Gillingham are going to be joining us in the third division next year. I said we were going to have to lean on Michael Duffy, and that is exactly what we've done. Our top goal scorer for the year, 17 goals. Very good second half of the season for Quinn Sullivan. 10 goals in 16 games. I'm excited to see what he can do in a full season. Tom Atkinson going up to a 55. Callum McKay up to a 51. I want these low-rated guys to maybe become superstars. Jordan McInnes, he was 62 rated when we got rid of him, 63 now. And Sean Patton up to a 53. Only one player will not be joining us next season though. Kieran Cole is going to free agency, not even retiring. I just didn't see the need to re-sign him. What a first season though with Derry City. I am not complaining about that at all. Bring on life in the third division. Got to do everything we can to keep the momentum rolling in this second season. First man out is going to be Diallo. Backup defensive midfielder goes out for 500,000. But immediately we hit the open market and we pick ourselves up a new left back here. Sean Rowan joining us from Lincoln City. £1.35 million to get ourselves what I'm hoping is a superstar left back. I really want us to be getting a new star right midfielder in this season. Aside from that, we're going to be sending Connor Barr off on loan. But back to the right midfield spot, we're selling Daniel Kelly for 350k. We're also sending Tiernan McGinty on a 2-year loan to Morecambe. And Paul McMullen, the big one, our former starting right midfielder, off on an Italian adventure. But that's left us with some pretty decent money for a League One club standards. We're going to go ahead and get a massive upgrade at the right midfield position. Joachim van der Kamp, the Dutch midfielder, coming across from Almere City, 1.7 mil, 67 rated. I don't want to be in the relegation battle here in League One. I want to be in the promotion battle. This whole video and basically every Road to Glory video like this, I'm going to be harnessing Ipswich Town energy through the roof. Callum McKay off on another loan move, but we're going to look to build out the depth and the youth of our squad again. Alex Cartwright, young Australian player, not expecting him to become the world's best player, but I'm hoping he can be a really solid prospect. But we're going to be up against it this year. We've made some decent additions to the side, but this team, it could well and truly be in the relegation battle. I would love for us to be in the promotion fight, but I'm also a little realistic. We'll assess it though once it comes January 1st. All right, here we go. We're in the relegation zone. 1st of January, we've got some work to do. I don't want to get relegated. We need some signings, and the fortunate thing is there is a lot of traffic just above us, so we just need a good run of form and we'll be safe, but we cannot afford to leave it too late. And it's going to be time for us to hit the open market and get a new center midfielder in. Will Patching is out of here, heading off to Spain, £660,000 into our transfer budget. And we're turning to Liverpool for our new center midfield option. We've had to pay a little more in the wages than I would have liked to as a League One club, but Bobby Clark, the English midfielder, comes with great pedigree, looking for more game time, and this is his opportunity. 67 rated. Welcome to Derry City. You know what? I want to see if I can get some more business done here. Ben Doherty heading to Andorra. And we're going to make that happen here on transfer deadline day. My God, that was a pain in the ass to organize, but we get it over the line. A new centre back, Jensen Silt, 6'4" centre back, joining us from Sunderland. We're officially broke. £2 million, which is more than I wanted to spend by far, but we've had to make it happen. But can Clark and Silt help us survive relegation? That is why we worked our off in January to get the signings in, because we finished 14th here. From relegation battlers to 14th, it was still a crazy logjam, but we finished 10 points clear of the 3rd division relegation battle. We pushed up. I mean, we were not even close to the playoffs, but that has to be an aspiration moving forward. Plymouth and Swansea. Swansea got relegated down to League One, but they're now back up to the Championship. Arsenal win the FA Cup. A Cinderella run in one of these tournaments would be nice, but I'm not holding my breath right now. Aston Villa win the Carabao. Again, a stinker. Plymouth win the BSM trophy. We did, oh my God, we are not doing well in the Cups. And Blackpool are going to be heading up to the Championship. I was excited to see what Quinn Sullivan could do with a whole season under his belt, and it has worked out brilliantly. The American up to a 70 overall overall, 20 goals and 4 assists for him. A great year for Michael Duffy, 69 overall. And our backup center midfielder, Kieran Harkin. Why is he getting so much game time? We are going to be saying goodbye, though, to our former starting striker, Patrick Hoban is retiring. So for me, I want to be focusing on improving the defense this whole year, but I found this guy, Ibrahim Yilmaz, Turkish left midfielder, 19 years of age, 66 overall. Now, Duffy is still the man for me, but this could be his succession plan. I'm going to sign Yilmaz and try to get him a loan move for next year, with the goal being him ready to take over the starting left midfield spot. So Ibrahim Yilmaz, welcome to Derry City, and welcome immediately to the loan list. I tried to get him out last year. We couldn't get it over the line, but it's our first player departure this year. It is Cameron McJanet heading to Huddersfield. But for me, the 2 starting 11 spots I think need improving this year are goalkeeper and right back. We're going to tick goalkeeper off the list here. It is the Australian shot stopper, Nicholas Bilakapic, joining us here from Peterborough. We get him. His value goes up. He was valued at 1.5 mil. We got him on a bargain anyways of 1.3. But we're going to get the 2 former starting 11 players out of the club. Ronan Boyce, our former right back, heading to Turkey, and our former goalkeeper, Mayer, heading to Portsmouth. And all of that nickel and diming was so we could sign Brodie Spencer, the Northern Irishman. He's returning home. Again, we are doing a very good job with valuations going up. I'm a fan of that, but our new right back joins the club as one of our highest rated players. He's come back from his 2-year loan. We're sending him right out again. Tom Atkinson, this time off to Romania. We do need some more squad depth, though. Our numbers are dwindling. So Michael Allen, another Northern Irishman. This was just a happy coincidence that he's going to join us on a free. And we got the loan move across the line for Yilmaz. I really hope he comes back as a stud after 1 year in Italy. I almost said Germany for some reason, because Duffy's sitting at a 69 overall right now. Yilmaz 66, so if he could get up around that mark, I'd be a happy man. That was a busy window. We're outside of it, though. Sullivan, Van der Kamp, and Spencer are the clear, although Rowan flying under the radar. Duffy up. We've got a pretty good team, man. Is it good enough to get us promoted up to the championship, though? That's the real question. I can live with this. We are in the promotion hunt, lads. 43 points. This is a stark contrast from last year. Stark contrast from this time last year. We're only 2 points off Reading. If I had more than £1 in my transfer budget right now, I would be going crazy in the market to make sure we go up, but we don't. So I'm just going to have to try surviving with what we do have. I'm not even surviving. Try getting promoted with this team. I had to stop here, lads. Final day of the regular season. We sit second right now. It's a nicety because all the teams behind us, mainly Portsmouth, have already played their final game, but Barnsley haven't. If we win our game and Barnsley draw or lose, we win the league. We already know that we're heading up to the championship next year, but can we head up as champions of League One? We've done our job. We've done our job. How did the other game go? Barnsley won theirs. Barnsley won their final game of the season, so they win the league. But at least we're heading up to the championship, promoted automatically. Bradford City, MK Dons, Burton Albion, Mansfield. We're going to have 2 leagues between us next year. Spurs, Ange has done it. Spurs finally win an FA Cup, or they finally win a trophy in general. They've got a taste for it. They win the Carabao. I was really hoping we would win the BSM trophy this year. I don't want to be in the BSM trophy ever again. I don't want to get relegated from the championship. Unfortunately, Bolton win it, not us. We don't even come close, man. We came bottom of our group. Are you kidding me? I mean, our goal is to win a Premier League title, not to win the BSM trophy, but it still would have been so nice. Reading are going to be joining us in the championship. Another great year here for Quinn Sullivan. He is really establishing his name. A really good year as well for Michael Duffy. 14 goals and up to a 71 overall. I'm really curious, though, where Yilmaz is sitting. Clark is up to a 73, killing it in the midfield. Allen up to a 67, man, this is awesome. And signing Brodie Spencer was such a good call. I am so glad that I put all of our money on the line for him. He went up +5 this year. Atchison up to a 62. Big question though, where is Yilmaz? Yilmaz goes only up to a 68. Maybe we have to keep the faith again with Michael Duffy next year. It's going to depend on how the rest of the squad's sitting. We are saying goodbye to one player as we get ready for life in the championship. Ryan is going to be departing on a free. I'm going to go and get a young goalkeeper as a backup next year. Tell you what though, lads, I cannot wait for life in the championship with Derry City to begin. Well, it looks like our mind's been made up for us. Yilmaz is going to be the starting left midfielder this year because Michael Duffy submitted a transfer request. I can't remove him from the transfer list. It might be time for us to get ready for the next era. And so, with Yilmaz being the starting left midfielder, we needed to upgrade the center midfield role. So I thought, why not get a fellow Turk into the club here, get him some Turkish counterparts so he feels a little more comfortable and so Yilmaz can thrive. We're going to get Erman İlkan here from Torino, £4 million. Our midfield looking much stronger ahead of our maiden voyage in the championship. And there it is. He's been one of the star performers of the video so far. I'm not sure why he wanted a transfer. Maybe he could sense the next generation of Yilmaz coming, but Michael Duffy is off to Royal Antwerp. Fixture congestion is about to go up a notch though as we get ready for life in the championship, so I'm gonna spend and invest a bit of money into building out the reserves. Harvey Watts, an Englishman, signing on here from Shrewsbury as a backup right midfield option. We do need a backup goalkeeper. Don't need anybody spectacular, just a number in case anything happens to Bill Kopic. So we're gonna sign Luke Hutchinson as a free transfer. And you might have seen his name floating around on the list when we made that last signing, but Keely Adamson, the Australian, is signing on from MacArthur FC for $740,000. And that now means our entire starting 11 is of players that we have signed. So I'm hopeful that the foundations we've built can really help us in the championship this year. I'm not too sure what to expect. I just don't want to be in the relegation battle. No matter how much I manifested not wanting to be in this position, we're still in the relegation battle. We've got a decent room to work with though, because we're 4 points ahead of Ipswich, but then Reading and Barnsley super far behind, and there is room for us to grow. One win puts us up to 16th. I'm so uncertain whether I want to do any business here in January. You know what? When in doubt, add somebody for squad depth. We're going to get a young Welsh centre-back here, Kai Cook, signing him from Portsmouth for £540,000. Excited to see what he can cook up. Hopefully Chef Cook is whipping up relegation survival. I'm not sure how much credit I want to give him, but Kai helped cook it up. He was a small part. We have survived relegation here in the world's toughest league, the championship. 15th here, 60 points. We finished comfortably, almost double the amount of the relegation zone. QPR, Reading, Barnsley, all down to the 3rd division. Ipswich managed to escape as well, but we finished 15th here, 60 points. But if we want to get promoted to the Premier League, I mean, we were only, what, 14 points away from Luton, but still, those rosters are phenomenal. FA Cup goes to Chelsea, who we actually lost to in the 4th round. So that's our best performance yet. Man United win the Carabao. Oxford United made the semis there, but we went out in the 1st round again. Championship playoffs, it is going to be a final contested between Preston and Burnley, which Burnley are going to win and continue their yo-yoing. I'm just stoked that we survived this season. Sullivan up to a 76 now. Ikan also up to a 76, but the one I'm super interested about, where's Yilmaz? Up to a 73. All right, I'm going to stick with Yilmaz. 11 goals this year for him. Bobby Clark up to a 77. I mean, our squad might not be as bad as we once thought it was. We could be not too far away from at least thinking mentally that we could push for the Premier League. It's time to say goodbye though to Danny Mullen. Danny Mullen is going to not be retiring, but he wanted a loan. I don't want to give him a loan. We're going to let him go on a free. What is it in this video with the players that I really like and really want to turn into superstars with them submitting transfer requests? Omari Kellerman wanted out. He's wanted out for the past year and a half. I was hoping I could sort it myself, but it's not happening. He's lagging behind. He's not happy. We're going to have to look elsewhere. I was hoping I could at least maybe put him on loan, but he only wants a transfer. It's super disappointing. I honestly came into this wanting to make him a Hall of Famer, but it's not going to happen. He hasn't been getting the results on the field. He's not growing the way we wanted to, so let's go explore our options. And the options have been explored. It was a quick divorce here. Omari Kellerman, the Northern Irish attacking midfielder, heading to the Belgian league. I'm going to keep an eye on his career as it progresses. Maybe one day we can bring him back. I feel like he's never even going to play a game for us. Another year, another loan move for Tom Atchison. His growth is coming along decently though. And the squad is now at the point where I can start to get rid of some of the super low rated players. Gonna do that just once this year. Callum McKay is out of the club. He's like 59 rated, so it's probably better that we got rid of him. There it is, fellas. We get ourselves our new attacking midfielder. It is Isaac Hansen Aron. He's a Norwegian attacking midfielder. £8 million to bring him across from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Some may say I only signed him because of his tattoos. That would be half right. He's got a lot of tattoos in game on his hands, on his knees, on his neck. And if you've been watching me for a long time, you'd know I'm a fan of tattoos. But the most important thing for me is that I think he could be an absolute stud. But we're going to make a really good signing here at the backup striker role. Brewster, Ryan Brewster. He's got Premier League and Championship experience. Brewster's going to join us on a free. That's going to be huge coming off the bench for us. If anything happens for Sullivan or as a super sub, I'm really happy with that. Keeping it super simple though this window. I'm happy with how the starting 11 is progressing. Like, we could make a run at the playoffs this year or even promotion. And I mean, in this entire video, we haven't spent longer than 2 years in a division. 1 year in League 2, 2 years in League 1. This is now our second year in the championship. So I'm trying to keep tradition alive. We're in the playoff hunt. We are in the playoff hunt. We are sitting 5th right now, but my God, one loss could drop us down to 10th position in where Plymouth Argyle currently sits. So we cannot rest on our laurels. We just need to look towards the top, look towards Norwich, and just strive to win the league. That is not out of the picture. I'm getting a good feeling about this year, lads. I want to keep the second year tradition alive, but we got no money and no real need to spend any money this transfer window. So let's just get to the end of the season, see how we're sitting, see if we get promoted or if we're in the playoffs. We bottled it. We bottled it, lads. We dropped down to 8th position. That is ridiculous. Middlesbrough in 5th place on 70 points. That is, and then Huddersfield, 67 points. Came down to the final day of the regular season. We miss out on the playoffs and our 2-season dream is over. It's still a great improvement from last year, but considering where we were on the 1st of January, that hurts the soul. Leeds and Fulham. Wait, weren't Norwich absolutely bottled it. Weren't they top of the league on the 1st of January? We ended up tying with them, but Leeds and Fulham go up. I cannot believe Norwich is one of the all-time choke jobs. Relegation zone, Birmingham, Charlton, and Swansea. Man United win the FA Cup. Man United also win the Carabao. And it is going to be the Hatters, Luton Town, going up to the Premier League this year. I mean, I could have joined Inter Milan. I'm not going to, but just know I could have. The wealth was shared this season. Quinn Sullivan with 15 goals. Yilmaz up to a 75 now, and he bags himself 14 goals and an incredible first year here from Isaac Hansen Aron. He gets himself 14 and 4 and up to a 77. Clark hits the 80s. Man, this team, we have to be in the conversation next year. That's disappointing Vandenkamp didn't get any growth though. I am going to let 3 contracts expire though. Connor Barr, Tiernan McGinty, and Kieran Harkin are all going to be walking on frees. Season 6 is upon us and Premier League promotion is the one and only goal. So many of our players are already at a Premier League level, but we still have a championship budget. That's why this year, I'm only making 1 transfer, 1 signing to the starting 11. Felix Perez, 18-year-old Ecuadorian left back. We're going to sign him from Liverpool. He needs more game time. He's leaving Liverpool. £7 million to bring him, and I'm hoping he can guide us. He's so young and so high in overall. He could be here for the rest of his career. I lied, fellas. I'm really sorry, but we're going to make a backup left midfielder signing here. It's only a free agent, but it is Boris Novak. That name sounds like he should be on the ATP World Tour, serving up at Wimbledon, not playing football, but Boris Novak is going to join us. The Croat left mid can play multiple positions. I'm excited to have him in the squad. I mean, if I had more money, I might have made some more changes to this side. I think the next players up on the hot seat are going to be Vandenkamp, who's now grown, Rooney, Seals. Like, these are the guys that really need to pick it up. The rest of the squad, though, I'm really happy with the direction we're heading. 3 players in the 80s. Ilkan's going to hit there soon. Hansen Aron might hit there this year. Things are looking good. We need to get ourselves into the promotion picture. I don't even want to be in the playoffs. I want automatic promotion this year. Let's see how it's tracking January 1st. We know this position all too well. We were here this time last year, 4th in the championship, but we are rapidly losing touch with the top two. Sheffield United and Burnley are absolutely crushing it. Fortunately, I mean, there's still a lot. Actually, no, I lie. There's a lot of teams breathing down our necks. So we're going to have to do what we couldn't do last year, and that's hold on for the second half of the season. And once again, this is the problem. We have such a good squad that for me to make improvements, we need more money. If we get to the Premier League, we have that TV and hopefully eventually European money to work with. Right now, we could barely get a left back in. So we're just going to have to keep the faith and see if we can get Derry City as the first Northern Irish team into the Premier League. All right, we stay in 4th. It's an opportunity to get into the Premier League here. We sit 4th with Derry City, 24 wins, 9 draws, 13 losses, and we're going to have to battle it out with Sunderland, Norwich, and Coventry for the final Premier League spot. We saw them win the playoffs a couple years ago, but now we face them. First leg of the playoffs is against Norwich City. Come on, lads. Come on, Derry City. How do we go? We get the 2-1 win. So far, so good. A lot of yellow cards, though. I'm hoping there's no suspensions ahead of the second leg of the playoffs. Full strength here, fellas. We're at home at the Ryan McBride Memorial Stadium, taking on Norwich City for a spot in the playoff final. A trip to Wembley on the line, and we do it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Clark with the goal just before halftime. We take down Norwich, and now we are facing either Sunderland or Coventry for that final playoff spot. Off to Wembley we go. It's Derry City versus Sunderland, the championship playoff final. Here we go, fellas. This is one of the biggest games in world football, the championship playoff final. We're at Wembley Stadium for the first time in Derry City club history, taking on Sunderland, trying to get ourselves up to the Premier League. The scoreline is a 2-0 win. Van der Kemp at right mid, Yilmaz at left mid, and we, Derry City, are heading to the Premier League. Oh my God, lads, what a moment. After 6 seasons in England, we've done it the hard way, but Derry City are Premier League bound. Tell you what though, we're going to have some serious work on our hands if we want to stay there. A look around at the grounds though, and the relegation zone sees Peterborough, Reading, and QPR going down. Nottingham Forest win the FA Cup. Burnley, they were in the championship, but they won the Carabao Cup, meaning they moved straight into the Premier League and straight into European football. Quinn Sullivan was an absolute god for us this year. 32 goals is insane. 83 overall. Dynamic player potential is definitely going to help him out. I cannot wait to get into the Premier League though. I think a few tweaks and we're going to find ourselves safe of the relegation battle. At least that's what I'm praying, because you look at this, Brody Spencer is 85 overall. It's ridiculous. Just one player not joining us in the Premier League next season though. Sam Todd is going to go into free agency. Derry City are heading to the big leagues though. The first Northern Irish club to be in the Premier League. Bring it on. If we're going to survive in the Premier League, we need our defense to be rock solid. Rooney's been so good for us, but we need that next step up. Yarrick, the Spaniard, never signed him in a rebuild before. Honestly, never even heard of him before today. We're going to sign him from West Ham United for £23.5 million. I do think balling out on a new right midfielder as well is going to be a key to us staying up in the Premier League this year. So we're going to say thank you, but goodbye to Joachim van der Kamp. He's heading to my favorite club, Fulham. £9.2 million for the Dutch right midfielder. That money's going to definitely go towards getting a huge upgrade. I was debating selling Jake Rooney, but honestly, I think it's going to be best if I keep him in the club as a backup for this season. We need as good a squad depth as possible. That TV money is working brilliantly for us here, lads. We're going to get our first, our major signing in the Premier League here. Afonso Moreira, another guy that I have never used in a rebuild. I've had my eye on him for a minute though. The Portuguese midfielder joining us here for £25.5 million. I did keep him in the squad last year, but this year we're going to send Novak off on loan. Excited to see how he can turn out. He does has that something special tag, so I want to try harnessing that. Of course, the goal of this video is to make Derry City Premier League champions, and I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but I think we aren't that far away, honestly. We need this little section here to step up, but man, our midfield and our attack look unbelievable. Spencer could be on a Premier League winning roster right now. And a big fear of mine is if we don't perform early on here in the next season or two, these guys might get impatient and want to leave for a Man United, a Man City, that sort of caliber. But regardless, we'll see how our first season in the Premier League is tracking. Yeah, like that's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't want to get too high on my own supply when I was talking about it earlier, but we are 8th in the Premier League right now. 28 points. We're almost at that magical 40-point mark halfway through the season. Not even halfway through the season. One game below halfway. 28 points, and Palace have half the points of us. Half. We're sweet. We're not getting relegated. Spurs and Man United might, though. That would actually be hilarious. Man City down in 10th. This is a great opportunity to strike. Let's see how high up the Premier League table we can get. And if we can get ourselves some sort of European football, that's going to help our budget so much. But we will not be doing any business this window. We've got £37 to our name. I couldn't even shout the team dinner if I wanted to at this point. Well, that's disappointing. We absolutely stunk it up in the second half of the season. I'm not worried about shouting the team dinner right now. I'm going to be deserving to eat 2-minute noodles for that performance. 11th in the Premier League, which granted our goal was to survive relegation, which we've done comfortably. Brentford, Fulham, and Sheffield United go down. But given how strong we started, I thought we could have been in the position Villa or Brighton find themselves. I mean, City were well below us in 10th. They end up finishing 7th. But Chelsea do go on to win the Premier League this year. Arsenal win the FA Cup. Tottenham win another Carabao Cup. We're going to have some big questions ahead of us next season, though. Bobby Clark's had a great year. Not the season I quite had hoped for from Quinn Sullivan, only 14 goals, but he does go up to an 87 overall. That is that dynamic player potential helping out. Moreira, 8-2 in his first year. Yilmaz now hits the 80 marker, which was a massive question of whether we'd have to upgrade him or not, but he looks like he's going to be safe for the time being. Defense, though, we're going to need another centre back. And we're probably going to need another backup striker here. Sean Patton is going to be leaving on a free. Season 8 here with Derry City, and again, my focus big time is on the back line, on the defense again. We're going to sign the Belgian centre half, Jorn Spillers, £32 million to bring him across from the Bundesliga and Hanover to the Premier League and Derry City. And that was like 3/4 of our transfer budget right there. But I still want to get an upgrade in between the sticks, which is why we are saying goodbye to the Australian goalkeeper, Nicholas Bilakapic, who heads to Selhurst Park. 16.5 mil for him. And on the same day, we're also saying goodbye to the 6'4" monster Jensen Silt. 12 mil for him. There we go, fellas. Luciano Miranda, regen goalkeeper, is our new man in between the sticks. His value goes up. He now has the showing great potential sign. That's a great omen. We signed the Portuguese shot stopper from Mallorca. We have not brought in any backups, though. Any help at the attacking midfield position, which is what I'm going to do here. Back up attacking midfield. He's already got the red and white shirt on from his parent club of Bristol City. It is Ayman Banarous joining us from Bristol. 7 mil on the dot. Last year was a complete and utter failure given all things, given how the expectations we had. This year, we've got to do so much better. Every player in our starting 11 is in the 80s now. There is no room for us not to be thinking about European football and even maybe a miracle Premier League run. Game on here, fellas. Game on. We are sitting in 7th, but I'm not too worried about the league position right now. I'm looking at the points. We're 6 points behind Brighton. Whilst it's going to take an almost perfect effort if we want to win the Premier League this year, we need to go for it. We need to be in the mentality that we can win a Premier League. We are in striking distance. Why not this year? Why not 8 seasons into this insane challenge? Oh my God, look at the numbers we're getting offered for Quinn Sullivan here in January. I don't want to sell him, but £172 million is insane. We're also getting a load of offers for Yarrick. I don't want to sell him either. To be honest, the only thing I want to do is send Boris Novak off on loan, but we haven't had an offer for a hot minute here. But deadline day has come and gone. We couldn't get anything over the line here. So we're just going to have to stick with what we have here, cross our fingers and hope for the best. So there are 3 match days remaining. We currently sit 4th in the Premier League on 62 points. Man City are first. They do have a game in hand though, but they are just 2 points ahead of us. Our run-in is decent. Leicester into West Ham, and then on the final day of the season, away at Elland Road. I want to bring you guys along and see if we can pull it off this season. Clark is suspended for this game against Leicester. Huge game. We need to win every game, and we lose to Leicester. Oh, that might have just killed our title chances for this year. Oh my God. And now Yilmaz has broken his ribs. 3 months out, so that's Yilmaz's season over. So Benaru is going to come in here for this game against West Ham. He's going to play the rest of the season. We're at home, our final home game of the season against West Ham. We get the win. Moreira keeps our slim title hopes alive with an 88th minute winner, but we're not going to win it. The final game of the season, we have confirmed ourselves Champions League football, which is incredible. The highest we can finish though is second. We'll watch this final game of the season anyways. If we could finish second, that would be really, really impressive. We get a 3-1 win. It now just comes down to other results, and we end up finishing second, which is a really good sign. I'm happy with that. We're going to get Champions League football for the first time next year. Although this isn't a traditional rebuild, so getting Champions League is almost a distraction. Watch us go and win the Champions League next year, but not win the Prem. Man City, of course, winning the league. Relegated sides Palace, Burnley, and Birmingham City with the worst season in Premier League history. Tottenham win the FA Cup over Sheffield United. Liverpool beat Brentford to win the Carabao Cup, and that one hurts because we lost to Brentford in the semi-finals. And as we get ready for our first Champions League season, Roma are the reigning champs there. What a season though for Quinn Sullivan. 26 goals, Moreira 22, but Bobby Clark, our captain, El Capitane, with 45 goal contributions. I'm sorry, I can't do math. I need to go back to 10th grade. 35 goal contributions. My God, Jared, that's embarrassing. Full of confidence now though, because we know we have what it takes to get in the title race, the title picture next year. Let's go all out for a Premier League title. Coming into this season, there was only one position I wanted to improve on. With Yilmaz getting his injury last year, he's 25 years of age, 82 overall. We need a superstar, one of the world's best left midfielders, to give us that extra edge on our push for a hopeful Premier League title. And that is exactly who we get right here, donning the number 7 at Derry City. Tattoos galore, Brazilian flair full of him. It is Savio who's getting his big money move from Troyes in France to Derry City of the Premier League. We have paid a club record £101 million for him. And that's all we're doing this window. Savio takes our team to another level. Yilmaz was decent, but you can't deny it. An 88 rated player with his level of talent is just unbelievable. This could be a Premier League winning roster right here. We need career best seasons. We need Man City to fall off a little bit, but we just need to take it one game at a time and find ourselves in a good position come January 1st. But for the Champions League this year, I'm going to keep a close eye on it. It's not the number 1 goal, but it would be really nice if we could do well there. Atletico Madrid, Augsburg, and Hearts in our group. 1st of January, we're equal on points with Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle, all breathing down our necks. But I said one of the big things was Man City to fall off, and they've gotten off to a slow start, 28 points. We're in the thick of this title race, even more than last year. We've been really good in the second half of the seasons throughout this video. We need that trend to continue. And we're also into the Champions League round of 16, going undefeated. Atletico Madrid missing out, and we're going to be versing Juve there. But again, I'm going to get to the end of the season, the final few games, and I'm hoping we're still in this title race. Let's see if we can get it done this year. All right, I'm checking in the same time we did last year. 3 games to go. We currently sit top of the table, but Liverpool have a game in hand. Newcastle, a little further back, have a game in hand. Liverpool, though, they have a better goal difference than us. So we need to keep on winning and hope that Liverpool drop points along the way. Our final 3 games are going to make for a blockbuster. At home, like last year against Leicester, but the big one a week later, a potential title decider. In fact, I would say the title decider against Liverpool away at Anfield, and on the final day of the season at home to Newcastle United. That one on the 15th though is going to be massive. We lost to Leicester last year. We cannot afford for that to happen this year. We need 9 points from 9 available. Somebody injured on the bench, but we get a 2-2 draw. Oh no, they get a late goal. Leicester are our bogey side, but Liverpool must have dropped points or even lost. They must have lost. Liverpool must have lost because we versed them here and we have a 4-point advantage, but technically the league is in our hands. We have a 1-point advantage, assuming Liverpool lose a game. If we win today, if we win and Newcastle lose, I think the title's ours. Away at Anfield, it's about as tough as it gets though, fellas. Oh my God, we need the win. Get the win, and we have one hand on the Premier League title. A loss, and it puts this in Liverpool's hands. Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas. Big game. It's a draw. Sullivan ties. We've had 2 draws, and that means we have Newcastle United on the final day of the season. That might just open it up for them as well. We might have just created a 3-way race for this final. 3-way horse it is. 3-way race it is. If we win the Premier League title. If we draw and Liverpool win the Premier League title. If we lose, Liverpool lose, and Newcastle win by what, 3 goals? Then they'll be the Premier League champions. This is insane. We've worked so long, so many seasons for this opportunity. Our destiny is in our hands. Final day of the Premier League season at home against Newcastle United. We have a draw. Oh my God, Liverpool, please lose Liverpool. Where are they? Liverpool drew, and we have won the Premier League title with Derry City. Oh my God. Our goalkeeper gets goalkeeper of the tournament, but we beat Liverpool by 1 point. That is a very low scoring Premier League season, but I'll take it. 73 points wins us a Premier League title. And just for those wondering, we went out to Juventus in the Champions League round of 16. What a journey though, lads. We have taken Derry City and made them the first Northern Irish team to win the Premier League title. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to watch another video.